Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our fourth and final webinar about where we will be talking about HCI solutions. As you can already hear, also this webinar is in English due to the Benelux audience we have chosen. And the sessions will be recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel of TD Synnex, so you can watch it again or share it with colleagues. I'm Remco Lauwerijsens, Business Development Manager Lenovo for TD Synnex, and today we are introducing to you StorMagic. Today's speaker is Koen Jansen, Channel Manager at StorMagic, and Craig Collier. Good morning, Koen. If you are ready, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Remco, and welcome everybody. Good morning. My name is Koen Jansen. I'm Channel Sales Manager at StorMagic. As Remco already mentioned, I'm here today with my colleague, Craig Collier. And we are part of, I think, the best kept secret in the IT market called StorMagic. With StorMagic, we have a very nice solution and a good alternative for VMware, especially for the edge location of our customers. And today's presentation, Craig will walk you through this solution. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. We will keep an eye on the chat. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for attending. And Craig, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Koen. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to StorMagic. So what we're going to go through today is a couple of different solutions that we've got for the edge. But let's start by just painting a picture of who we are and where we come from. So we are StorMagic. We've been around for almost 20 years now. And these three pillars on the screen, these are the things that all of our products follow. And this really is the mantra of our company, that we are reliable, simple, and lower cost. That's always been the case with our storage product as well as with our hypervisor. And really, we aim to be that low cost, simple, reliable solution for the edge. As I said, more than 15 years of our product being out in the market, and StorMagic's been around for nearly 20 years. We have more than 50,000 installs around the world, and all of those are looked after by our in-house support team based out of the UK and the US. We've got engineers all over the world. But yeah, 50,000 installs, a relatively small team that just plays into how reliable the solution really is. So we are edge. What do we mean by this? So this is remote offices, manufacturing locations, retail shops, wherever there's a small amount of data that needs to be protected, where they might have a requirement for high availability. This is where StorMagic works. Our biggest customers, some of them in the US in retail with thousands of locations. Similarly here in Europe, across Benelux, France, Germany, Italy, we have some big like retail supermarket customers, many energy and utility companies that use us in these kind of remote, rugged locations, as well as many SMBs that use us because we are a lower cost alternative to some of the bigger players, things like vSAN and Nutanix, for example. So we've got two main products to talk about: SVSAN, SVHCI, and our centralized management, which brings it all together. But we're going to start with SVSAN. This is our hyperconverged storage product. So SVSAN, this has been around for the whole time of StorMagic. This is our product that we started with. It's a virtual machine that lives on your bring your own hypervisor. Now, typically that's VMware, but with the changes in the world, with Broadcom taking over, making it very expensive, we're seeing many more customers moving to Hyper-V in this space, as well as lots of new players in this space as well. Things like Proxmox, XCP-ng. We're seeing lots of customers wanting to dive into Linux, KVM, doing it themselves, as well as then our own hypervisor as well, that we'll talk about in a minute. The SVSAN is this very flexible virtual storage product that works on any hypervisor. We take the storage in two servers, mirror them together, and create that highly available data store, or cluster shared volume in Hyper-V speak, that can be used by the cluster for high availability. So we can provide a 2-node cluster with any hypervisor with SVSAN, but for lower cost than almost anything else out there. So think vSAN, but simpler. Nutanix, but 2 nodes instead of 3 nodes, or data core, scale computing, Starwind. These are the kind of competition, shall I say, or alternatives that we have here. But what I will argue is SVSAN is the simplest, the most reliable, and the lowest cost of all of those solutions. So SVSAN, very, very lightweight, just a single CPU, single gig of RAM to provide that virtual machine that will then take the storage in the server and provide that highly available cluster. This has been out for, like I say, more than 15 years. This is the StorMagic clustering technology that we've had for a long time, powering businesses all around the world. Very, very flexible. We work with any manufacturer, any server, any storage type, any hypervisor. Right, so very, very, very flexible. SVSAN, which you could maybe say is our legacy product now, is our existing product, still very, very flexible. Customers wanting to stick with the same hardware and move away from VMware can move to Hyper-V with SVSAN in most cases. We can do 2 nodes, 3 nodes, 4 nodes, 5 nodes, 6 nodes. We can do lots of flexibility with SVSAN to be that disruptor, that kind of that very low cost alternative to some of the other players out there. And so let's move on to SVHCI. Now, I've been talking about the Broadcom changes and what that's done to the industry. So beginning of last year, we had all of our partners in the channel ecosystem around Europe and the US, all over the world, coming to us and saying, what are we going to do? What else have you got? What else is there? You're seeing this yourselves, I'm sure, across your customer base and partner base and just your contacts generally. Everybody is looking for a way to get away from VMware, to get away from Broadcom. For some people, that's not possible. They need to stay with Broadcom, and our SVSAN product is there for them to continue to be that storage product that's cheaper than vSAN. Some of those people are moving to Hyper-V, as I said, and are able to do that fairly seamlessly with us, no problem at all. And for others, they want to get away from all of this and really start with something new, and that's where SVHCI comes in. So it is a 2-node hypervisor for the edge. It's designed for the small set and forget kind of environments. So whilst this is a lower cost alternative to something like vSAN or Nutanix, as I said, it really isn't a like for like. This fits in anywhere, whereas some of those other products have much higher barriers to entry. So what I'm saying here is that the smallest Nutanix cluster is still going to be way bigger than the smallest SVHCI cluster. We can scale this down to work on any hardware in any environment to run those virtual machines, keep them highly available at the lowest possible cost. And so it's built on top of SVSAN. This is why we take the time to explain what SVSAN is, not only because it's an existing product that's still available, still very much viable, still very much a great solution for lots of people, but also to underpin really that SVHCI is not brand new. This is something we've been working on a long time, and it takes our SVSAN product and really just replaces the hypervisor part with our own. So you get the same highly available mirrored storage, but now with our own KVM QEMU hypervisor. Very straightforward. We have lots of cool features that make this an easy swap for people to move from our SVSAN product into SVHCI, as well as lots of features for the edge, which really are required for these kind of clusters. So primarily designed for uptime. What we mean by this is that this is a fairly simple system, but incredibly reliable. It's designed to be simple, easy to set up. There's not that many moving parts. This isn't like VME from HPE, where you do really need to spend a few hours understanding all the different Linux packages you're installing and how Linux bridging works and how to build a KVM cluster. You kind of need to do all that yourself with HPE VME. With SVHCI, we do this for you out the box. You install directly bare metal on 2 servers. You create a cluster with a GUI. It's really, really simple, takes 5 minutes. Once that's done, every virtual machine you create in a protected state is immediately protected. If there is a server failure, that VM restarts on the second side within 30 seconds. This is the claim to fame we've got with this one. This is our really unique selling point of this, that SVHCI is incredibly reliable. It might not have all of the features that VMware has. We might not be able to do all of the fancy kind of orchestration and management that you get with VMware. Remember, VMware is a very mature product and it's very expensive. But what you do have here is effective cluster management for those small 2-node clusters at scale. We can deploy this to hundreds or thousands of locations, and you can manage them all in one place. And what you know is that those VMs inside your SVHCI cluster are going to be kept online, that they're going to stay online and stay protected. Now, all of this is protected with our witness. Now, I didn't talk about the witness with SVSAN for a reason, because it's using the same witness here with SVHCI as well. And what we mean by this is that if a existing customer has SVSAN and they already have a StorMagic witness, then they're already ready to install SVHCI. We use the same witness, installed in the same way, and with the same restrictions. So a StorMagic witness can look after 1,000 clusters of SVHCI. It can be put centrally. So one witness. Let's say we're looking at replacing a company with 10 offices, and they need a small solution in every single office. Well, I would propose that we would put that witness in the cloud potentially for them. We can host it for them as a service, or they can have it in their own private cloud. And that one single witness will look after every one of those 10 offices that they have. With each office having a nice, simple 2-node solution with all their virtual machines running, all checking into that centralized witness across the estate. Now, it's not as full features as VMware, but we do have some pretty cool features that are worth talking about. VM snapshots, so up to 16 levels per VM, incredibly useful and really quite a necessity in this day and age. This is enabled per VM. VMs can still be migrated when they're running on a snapshot. They can still be backed up. They can still be used and ultimately kept highly available. And you can also choose where the storage of these snapshots is that can be separate to the virtual machine itself. But very, very powerful, built into the GUI, ready and available right now. And also VM imports. So understanding that vast majority of our customers coming into SVHCI are coming from VMware and Hyper-V. Right now, we've released VMware VM import tool that essentially allows for much more seamless migration from your existing VMware into SVHCI. The tool will essentially prepare your virtual machines, give you a readiness check. Now, this is probably the most important part, that explains what's missing, right? So rather than just putting the virtual machine across and it not working, it tells you what's missing, what drivers needed, what configuration you might need to fill to make it work in SVHCI, mapping your networks to make sure that your previously connected port groups and networks are all represented in SVHCI. And of course, then managing the failover of that VM from the VMware into SVHCI as well. Now, we don't expect customers to do all of this on their own. We're here to help with all of this, but these tools are there to make it relatively straightforward. Customers can do this themselves. It is really, really quite easy. And of course, all of our products are protected in this way that you can use encryption. So this is a yes or a no, but all of our products support encryption. With SVSAN, we encrypt the entire volume. So you're presenting storage to, say, VMware, that volume is data at rest encrypted with SVSAN. With SVHCI, we can do much more granular encryption. It's per object. So that could be a single disk within a VM that's encrypted, or an entire group of VMs, or maybe just a collection of VMs separate from the rest that you want to be encrypted. It's that granular. We can do it per object with SVHCI. And then all of our products are supported by our in-house support team. Like I said, these guys are based out of the UK and the US, with a couple of guys around Europe. We've got someone in Ireland, a couple in Canada. So that team is growing all the time. This covers a full 24/7 for all of our customers. Now, SV SAN is available in 2 options, as a standard 9 to 5. Bearing in mind that it's just a storage product. Some of our customers don't need that full support because they might have that with VMware or Hyper-V. So we offer that 9 to 5 with SV SAN and 24/7. With SV HCI, everyone is supported with 24/7. So every system out there is fully supported by us. All you need to do is drop us an email, pick up the phone, we will be there, and our engineers will be there to help. Now, all of these things are tied together with our centralized management called Edge Control. This is a cloud-based solution that ultimately is managed by us. It's hosted, multiple different places around the world, depending on customers. But this is a platform that you log into and essentially connect all of your remote sites, and forms that centralized management, not just for our SV HCI, where you can manage virtual machines, migration, and so on, but also our existing SV SAN products on VMware and Hyper-V as well. So being able to, particularly as a partner, for example, with multiple customers, you can continue to manage and monitor all StorMagic with Edge Control, with customers having their own individual tenancy for their information separate to other customers. It's also that single point for managing. So not, like I said, not just managing virtual machines, migrating, but managing virtual machines across the entire estate, being able to see everything all in one place, being able to filter and say, okay, I just want to look at my Netherlands VMs right now, and put my Belgium VMs on one side, or I just want to look at the UK systems first, and I will home in on this and maybe just filter on my VMs that are in my London office, and you have that granularity here, and also being able to see your existing SV SAN on VMware and Hyper-V all in one place. Again, very, very powerful for that kind of estate management of being able to manage hundreds or thousands of locations all in one. Now, bear in mind that this is real use case. We have customers with, our biggest customer in the US has about 6,500 locations across US and Canada. Over here in Europe, our biggest customer is around 950 locations. So again, this scale is normal for us. This is something we've been doing for a long time. So yeah, 3 things to take away from this: reliable, simple, low cost. When we say purpose built and right size, that's really where I come in. So please, if you guys have any opportunities, if you have ideas or maybe customers in mind, please reach out to us. We can help you. I can present on your behalf. I can train you to understand all of this. It's very, very simple. It's not that difficult. We can also be here for professional services to help with the installation, to help plan and the migration from another hypervisor into SV HCI, or just for that advice on what's going on in the world and how things are. This is who we are and who we've always been. So 2-node hypervisor with built-in storage, eliminating downtime, 30-second failover at the lowest possible cost. This is not a full VMware replacement. We can't go do 400 nodes in a massive data center, but anyone that has a small cluster that needs HA, and would like to save money and not necessarily be spending the big bucks on the Broadcom licenses, this is really where StorMagic fits in, and where we can provide that off ramp and a bit of relief to our customers in this space. Okay, so I've gone through this very, very quickly. I was conscious of time, but yeah, I don't know if Koen, if there are any questions or anything, any particular points you think we should focus on in the last few minutes.
Thank you, Craig. So yeah, we do have one question from Christophe. Any plans on French language and local support for Belux? Well, first of all, for support purposes, we do not have any plans for French-speaking support people at this point. And same goes for the local support for the Belux. Everything is located in the UK, and as far as I know, that's from where on we are moving forward with support for the EMEA region. We are working on, or actually in the process of hiring someone for sales purposes in France. And obviously he can also help out with French-speaking people in Belgium if needed. But like I said, we are in the process of hiring someone, so he or she is not there yet. And once we have somebody, we obviously will share that with the community. I hope that answers your question, Christoph. And if not, please ask a follow-up question in the chat. Okay, it seems it has been answered. Frank Bush, is StorMagic privately owned? Yes, we are not a public company.
Yep.
So indeed, we are privately owned.
Well, we are a UK-based company, but we have ownership in the US as well. But yeah, primarily head office is in the UK.
Exactly. Ruth asks us if we will share the slides. Yes, we can share the slides with you.
Yeah, no problem.
And we will send it to Remco, and he will distribute it.
Yes, we will distribute it together with the YouTube link, so you can watch back.
So any other questions on Craig's presentation? Was everything clear? Oh, someone is typing, so let's give it a minute.
Koen, did you copy the slide from yesterday at the end?
No. To be honest, I think I missed the slide from yesterday.
I'll open it, no worries.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the cost, Koen. That's a really good point. Actually, we left the numbers out of this one. So SVSAN, our storage products, starts around. We're talking a couple of €1,000 for our smallest licenses with a year of support.
Yeah. Greg, sorry to interrupt you. We actually, that's why I was asking for the last slide. We actually made some examples, so I can share.
Awesome. All right,
I can share them on the screen. And no, I can share them on screen. You can give the explanations with it. Let me share.
Before we move forward, Remco, because there is also a technical question in the chat. Correct? I guess you can answer that one. So the question is, will there be SAM support later on, like Fiber Channel, not HCI or SAN?
Yes, later on, yes. So right now it is. I mean, it's in the name, right? It's a HCI product. So it's all about internal storage and block support. But coming middle of next year, external iSCSI support, and eventually then Fiber Channel and full external storage support as well. But not yet. Right now it's internal only.
So I hope everybody can see my screen.
Nope.
Not yet.
I can.
Wait 1 second.
There we go. Yep, you can now.
Yes. So what we've done is Koen and I made some t-shirt sizes. On the left you see the bundles of 6 terabytes, 12 and 24. And together with pre-sales, we made some hardware configurations for it, where we think these are suitable for most situations. This is just indicative for you to have a view on what pricing can do. So if we go from left to right, we see the 60B. We made it available for, let's say, 10 VMs. With a minimum of 10 cores per 1 core per VM and 16 gig of RAM. So if you look a bit more to the right, then you see indicative purchase price that's including hardware and licenses for the 60B, for the SV SAN solution for around 26,000 euros, 36 or 54, depending on what how much TBs you need. And mostly to the right, you see indicative pricing for the HCI product. Maybe Craig can tell something more about what's included in these prices in terms of the licenses.
Yeah, so every SVHCI license comes with the SSD caching element of it as well. So there are a couple of performance options that customers can use to increase with caching. But essentially, like let's say the 6 terabyte license, that's 6 terabytes per server in a 2-node cluster. That gives you 6 terabytes of shared storage for the cluster. So think of it as the usable space the customer needs to think about. If they have 6 terabytes of requirement, then we need a 2-node 6 terabytes on each node. Essentially, that gives us that 6 terabytes of space. Same would be this, 12 or 24. And just to round this out, our licensing here, this is a great snapshot of our most popular licenses. The smallest one we do is 2 terabytes. And we also then go up to 48 and unlimited as well on the higher end here. But yeah, the 6, 12, and 24. This is where most of our customers sit. Right, this is a great average across the board.
Yeah, and sorry I didn't say that say it, but these prices are already 2-node systems. So based on hardware 2 nodes, but also the licensing is already for 2-node systems. So the pricing you're seeing is all you need.
So on that, and there's a question in the chat about number of nodes. Right now, SVHCI is a 2-node application, or a single node or 2-node. And yes, there are plans to increase this again, probably middle of 2026. Multi-node support where compute-only nodes can be added to the cluster as step 1, and then step 2 would be additional storage nodes and more management of that storage with more than 2 nodes as well. That's coming about middle of 2026.
Thanks, Craig. There's, I think, another question coming up.
Yeah, so these prices are they include so these are 60-month prices, including maintenance and support. Yeah. So this is the total cost of ownership over 5 years.
Good question.
Now, I will say these are examples. Remco's put in some very average, and these are really nice examples of kind of just what a customer might want. But don't be put off by these. If you need 20 cores and 6 terabytes, SV SAN and SVHCI are very, very flexible. You choose the server that's right for your workloads. These are just examples. It's kind of average examples of what our customers tend to do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I don't think there are any more questions at this point.
Well, and if so, for the Benelux, Koen is local presence. So if you want to talk about this further, we can always make an appointment and schedule a physical meeting. If there are no more questions, I would like to introduce a small light incentive. And that's the incentive is basically if you bring a deal before the end of January, we will take you and a team of max 10 people from your organization to a local all-you-can-eat restaurant. So hopefully that will increase your motivation to make some offerings on StorMagic. I want to thank Koen and Craig very much for your presentation. I think it was very clear. I think it was very interesting also seeing in all the questions that are asked. And hopefully we can have some great opportunities for this in the future.
Thank you very much, Remco. I do see that people are still typing, so maybe we should give it, or they're all thank you messages to us, I guess. Yeah, so I think we can wrap up. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Remco, for giving us the opportunity to present. Like Remco said, I'm more than happy to come over physically to have a conversation with you guys to see where we can see opportunities we can work on together. So don't hesitate to reach out to either myself or Remco, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.